Remember guys, if you enjoy the video and I was able to give you some knowledge and value in this, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Let's get stuck into it. Hey guys, today we're going to chat a little bit about gearing for success, get a little bit more understanding as to what is going on and how to think about gearing for your raid depending on your goal. When choosing a setup for your raid, think about what the end goal of the raid and what the objective you are trying to achieve is. Is it to fight other players or opponents? Which map will you be playing on? Does it favor close range or long range? Depending on which map you choose, we can then decide on what kit to take into a raid. An example would be if we were going to Armory, which is a medium to close range type of map, then we would want to take high tier armor as well as medium to close range weapons such as an assault rifle. Because our goal relates to fighting players, we'll need to take as higher tier ammunition as we can afford. Obviously we don't want to break our bank too much, but this will definitely help. Another example would be if we were avoiding players and wanting to just fight AI on Northridge at the points of interest that are away from where most players usually gather. This doesn't mean you won't run into players, but the hotel and the cable car area are obviously higher loot areas. In this situation, you could go for more of a medium to long range weapon, allowing for lower tier ammo, maybe a cheaper build overall. Dealing with the AI close range, using a long range weapon isn't too bad, and you could always take a sidearm too. With these ideas in mind, let's run through our gear options and briefly discuss their importance. When choosing a headpiece, you want to look at the ricochet chance and the armor level of that piece of headgear. These stats can help determine which piece you should be using based off of your goal. If you're playing in a high-end lobby, you want to be able to use higher tier armor to help increase the chance of stopping bullets penetrating headshots. Some headpieces have face shields. These face shields have certain armor levels and can help reduce bullet penetration around the face. I found having even lower tier face shields, which is not that expensive, can reduce the risk of rogue bullets hitting you in the face. I recommend this even if the shield is level 3 or 2. If you are keeping your distance or sniping, you might not need a face shield. Next, we have headsets. When choosing a headset, think about what the goal of your raid is going to be. Are you fighting close range or are you fighting more long range? You can choose 1 out of 5 headsets, as you can see here. They have 2 statistics to look at: noise reduction and sound pickup. The sound pickup has 3 levels: medium, bad, and strong. The stronger the sound pickup, the easier it'll be to hear noises around you. On the other hand, noise reduction helps with reducing how much of the tinnitus debuff a player gets from loud explosion sounds nearby, as well as dampening ambient noises such as weather or water in a stream to make it easier to hear footsteps over that ambient noise. The tinnitus debuff causes distinct ringing that blocks out all other noise and affects the ability to hear the direction of sounds. This will put you at risk. If you're fighting close range, I would recommend taking a medium sound pickup with strong noise reduction. Personally, I found the strong pickup very distracting inside buildings at close ranges. However, that's just a personal preference. Try to take the medium or test out the strong version to see if you like it. If you're fighting long range, you have 2 options. One is the cheap option, taking a medium sound pickup with a medium noise reduction or even a bad noise reduction. This option is more cost effective, however leaves the risk to not hear players if there is more ambient noise around. The other option is to take strong sound pickup with a medium noise reduction. This will allow you to hear people outdoors easier, as players tend to sprint in open areas to cover ground between points of interest, allowing you to hear them over the back side of ridges, across a small valley, or in the trees. The other factor to consider is the price of the headset. I would strongly recommend never going below medium sound pickup, as this may allow for some jump scare moments or even some death. Chest rigs have different sizes to house items and configuration of items. Generally, the more space, the more expensive. The main use for a chest rig is to have accessibility slots for your weapon magazines, medical items, food items, and grenades. This allows magazines in your chest rig to automatically switch with the magazine in your gun when you click the reload button. If your magazines are in your backpack, you cannot quickly access them by clicking the reload button. Instead, you would have to go into the backpack and manually drag the magazine over the gun to force it to reload. On a side note, this can be done from your secure case if you're being very protective of your expensive ammunition. Arena has a wheel function by holding down the grenade key or the medical item quick access key. This allows you to select from all the available meds in your chest rig and pockets and all of the available grenades in your chest rig or pockets. Choose the chest rig that suits the mission playstyle or the goal of your raid. Maybe you want more magazine slots or a drum mag or more grenades. Different chest rigs can help you achieve this goal. Maybe you're sniping and staying far away and you don't need the extra space because you have one small stack of ammo plus a grenade or smoke or two, some meds, and that will allow you to just take a cheaper chest rig into the raid. Note that you can have armored chest rigs instead of taking armor specifically, which could help keep the price point of overall gear down, but it also can help reduce the amount of weight that you are carrying as well. And these are a decent option to take into the raid if you're wanting to be a little bit more mobile. Armor is a very important piece of gear that allows you to mainly protect your torso. Some armor allows us to protect our abdominals and neck, as well as the upper arms too. Without our torso, we are indeed dead. There are a decent amount of armors to choose from. The higher the level, the better its protection against attacks. Heavier armor also reduces movement speed and ergonomics. When hit, durability will reduce. The lower the durability, the more chance bullets can penetrate armor. If you have no durability left, any bullet level can penetrate the armor. Armor can be extremely expensive, so once again, think about the goal of your raid. Are you fighting up close? Are you staying at a distance? Are you going into normal, lockdown, or forbidden game modes to fight AI or players? Personally, I try to wear level 4 at a minimum, unless I want to run a cheap build at much longer ranges. And now for the real fun part, my favorite thing about this game, the centerpiece of your identity in and out of the raid, and the deciding factor of who you are, your weapon. Your weapon will be built for close, medium, or long ranges. There are a decent amount of attachments to choose from: sights, foregrips, stocks, magazines, suppressors, and muzzle brakes. Take note that the handguard along the barrel and the dust cover, which sits over the receiver, sometimes need to be changed to allow for attachment rails for extra modification. The system is easy to use and allows you to build whatever gun you would like. It'll notify you what items won't work if you try to put them together. Essentially, you can click away at some attachments, buy them, assemble the gun, and Bob's your uncle. However, there are some key stats to think about. The first is effective range of your weapon. Sniper rifles have longer effective ranges, usually 100 meters and up. Assault rifles have between 45 meters and 60 meters or more. SMGs, pistols, and shotguns tend to be lower than the assault rifles. Attachments can influence effective range, so keep an eye on the stat when building. Usually longer range mods affect ergonomics, lowering the mobility of the weapon. This can make it harder to act faster, so just be aware of it. The penetration power of your bullets beyond the gun's effective range become less effective. Even higher tier penetration rounds will be less effective at long ranges. Be aware of what your weapon's range actually is and use it to your advantage. Make tactical decisions to play into your kit choice. Sights are a fantastic way to help you see enemies further away using magnification, as well as keeping the picture clear in close range fights using reflex and red dot sights. Think about what sight is going to be most effective based off of the situation or goal you have for the map you have selected. A lot of sights have multiple magnification levels, which also helps you be more versatile, but remember, these are more expensive. Think about which other situations your build can or can't handle. Do I need a secondary to assist? For example, if I'm running a sniper with a long range scope, I like to bring in a pistol, and that'll help assist with close range, or even an SMG. This can help save ammunition costs for the sniper when dealing with AI as well as an added bonus. Third, which magazine size do you need? 30 round mags are a cost-effective way to deal with most situations. If you are taking an assault rifle or SMG, 60 round mags are larger, can help when fighting players to make sure you don't have to reload as much, and you can keep pulling that trigger more often to secure kills by keeping pressure up on the enemy. Note that this can be very expensive to keep a large mag filled with expensive ammunition. If you die, all that ammo is going to your killer. Fourth, I would suggest putting on foregrips and stocks that help raise the recoil, control, and ergonomics if possible. However, you can tailor this to what you are willing to spend. The more you spend, the better the handling of the weapon in most cases. I try to look for larger incremental increases of stats versus the price of the item. Ammunition is the butter to the bread, the salt to your steak, the sauce to your pasta. This is the most important item for you to be spending extra money on. To put it simply, better ammunition penetrates better armor, allowing you to kill heavier kitted players faster. Note that some ammunition does more flesh damage and some does more penetration damage. The latter is usually more expensive, and that's the kicker here. Using your ammunition effectively will help you secure kills and build wealth. Personally, I never use anything less than level 3 ammunition unless I was extremely poor, but this helps to ensure that I have the ability to be proficient killing level 3 players and AI, and generally it's okay dealing with level 4. Usually I use level 4 or higher. To be more effective, try to run a mix of level 3 and higher ammo to ensure you are using lower tier to deal with AI and higher tier to deal with players. This will be a lot to think about as a new player, but you can essentially pack the bottom half of your magazine with level 3 and the top half of your magazine with level 4 or higher. You could even pack bottom half level 4 and the top half level higher as well. Sometimes I take a level 3 filled mag to deal with AI separately from players. Don't be shy. Try some higher tier ammo against players. My advice would be to keep the ammunition in your secure case, or even a loaded mag in your secure case that you can drag out to reload and pack the one in your secure case with the expensive ammo that's also in your secure case. This will ensure that you do not lose the ammo if you die. Lastly, firepower of the weapon. According to ABI, firepower delivers more blunt force damage to the target if the bullet does not penetrate armor. This can be helpful for lower tier and higher tier rounds to deal more damage to armored targets when not penetrating. Fast firing weapons can overwhelm an enemy's health system with this mechanic and potentially get kills without spending heaps on expensive penetrating ammo. However, I would still recommend taking high tier ammo and taking the extra damage from the firepower mechanic if that ammo doesn't penetrate the armor. Medical items are hugely important. Painkillers stop your character from making noise when injured and help reduce blurry vision from pain. Bandages stop unbroken body parts from bleeding health continuously. Surgical kits help recover blacked out or broken limbs so they can be healed. Medical kits restore lost health to limbs. Boosters and injections allow you to increase regen rates, stamina recovery, and strength gain, helping to keep health up. Run, jump, and aim for longer. or carry more loot and gear effectively. Personally, I would recommend taking in at least a full 500 health points worth of medical treatment, 2 to 3 uses of painkillers, 4 uses of surgical kit, 2 bandages for bleeding, and a regen stim. You could also add a strength and or a stamina injection depending on the goal of your raid or the map based on how far or which areas you're going to go to loot. In terms of food and water, try to take in at least 1 water and 1 biscuit to get through a slightly longer raid. However, you'll most likely find some food and water in raid 2. The last slots are your melee weapon for stabbing and slicing people. You never know when you might need this, and there are some pretty cool skins for these for some bragging rights that you can claim out of events. Face covers, i.e. gas masks, allow you to be more resistant to poison effects and flash effects. None of these have an armor value. Personally, I don't use them, but they are a good option in close combat when players use gas grenades if you feel you are running into that a bunch. I hope this guide helps a lot of folks with some more understanding on gearing for success. This is the first step to your success, so try to focus on a playstyle that helps you achieve your goal in the raid, and be patient. Think about how to use your kit to your advantage based on what you've set up. If that means adapting your playstyle to get the best out of it, then don't be afraid to try it in raid. Thanks for your time. Get out there, be purposeful with your decisions, starting with your gear. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video and it was helpful, give it a like, subscribe for some more content, and I'll catch you in the next one.